Welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And yes, doing another show about something that I knew I'd be doing a show on this. I did. I didn't know I'd be doing it today. That was the thing that I was not prepared. I didn't think it would be so early. I spoke about this concept, these ideas, these problems, literally months ago. I talked about this as soon as RFK Jr. jumped on the Trump train. I started talking about this. I was saying that this is going to be challenging, very challenging. What's the challenging part? Creating this unity ticket. Now, one of the reasons why, if you remember, when RFK Jr. first jumped on the Trump train, I was concerned. If you remember, I was like, I don't know. Are they going to blow him off? Are they going to ignore him? Is this just something to do just to get the unity ticket and they're going to walk away? Are they blowing off Tulsi Gabbard? Remember all those things? Why I was worried about those? I was worried because when you create this kind of unity ticket, something like this, there's problems. There's all types of issues and worries that we have. The Libertarian Party sees it all the time. Yes, we do. And it usually destroys us. We usually do not do well with it at all. We usually fall into a bunch of virtue signalers, and nothing works well from this. Now the Republican Party is having that same issue right now. It is similar issue. Okay, so you've decided you're going to bring all these people in. Amazing. We're going to have a unity ticket. Awesome. Unity works really well when I have one enemy, right? So the enemy initially was Joe Biden, then the enemy was Kamala Harris, and then we're good, right? So we all love each other. Why? Because we all hate this guy or this gal after Biden left when it became Harris, right? So we all hate this gal. Okay, good. There we go. We are good. Okay, wait a minute. She's gone now. Now we got to actually run stuff. Yeah. Not so good. Not so awesome all of a sudden. Now it's challenging. And I did say this, if you remember, I brought this up. The Republican Party has a problem, and now we're seeing it. Now you might think, well, this is really a problem between two personalities, right? It's Elon Musk against Steve Bannon or whatever, right? Whatever that. No, it's not. It is what I mentioned. The Republican Party has not been, just simply has not been the party of the working class. It hasn't been that, right? It's not a thing. All of a sudden, it's filled with working class voters. Okay, what do? You have not been the party of the working class. You now have a whole bunch of working class voters. Now what? This is the now what, right now. And you are hearing, this is one of the reasons why you find so many people who don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how to act. Because I got people like Laura Loomer. I have people like Steve Bannon, who are old school MAGA, old school America First, even though Laura's young, but she was on board immediately. Bannon's been on board since 2016, right? They were on board right away. And they were all about, this is MAGA first, whatever, immigration bad, right? Always, right? Get it. That's where they've been. It's not shocking to hear them say these things. They've been, whether you agree with them or not, they have been consistent in this concept, right? And now here comes Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy going, oh no, immigration is great. What? No. 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 You didn't hear what we said before. We don't like immigrants, period. I know you think you're one of the good ones, but we don't like immigration. That they've been very forward about this. Very forward about this. And you might agree with either side. And that's fine. But now you have to work together. Now you got to figure out who's doing what by when. And here's the worst part. You got a whole lot of big personalities. This is not going to be easy. Doesn't mean it can't work. But if you remember, I said this. If the Republican Party cannot fix this, and if anybody can, and it may not be fixable, This may be a battle they cannot win. I don't know that yet. I'm not sure. I know it's a tough battle regardless. But if anyone can fix it, it is Trump. Trump has a bigger personality than them all. That's the glory. He's the only one with a bigger personality and more popular than all of them. So if it can be repaired, if it can be fixed, he's the guy who can do it if it can be done. Or it can't be done. If it can't be done, I said it before and I'll say it again, you will watch Bill Clinton 3.0 pop up and take all these voters away. Just like Bill Clinton 1.0 did, just like Bill Clinton 2.0, aka Obama did. They will find a Clinton 3.0 to do it all over again. You will watch it happen if they can't do it. So are they in a civil war? Yes. And I may say, well, whose fault is it? I'm going to tell you whose fault it is. It's Bernie's fault. You didn't see that one coming. Yes. Why? Because Bernie and Trump in 2016, if it wasn't for how broken the Democratic Party was, Bernie would have been the nominee. And it would have been Bernie versus Trump. And Bernie might have, I'm not saying he would have, but Bernie might have beaten Trump. Why? For the same reason you saw RFK. Bernie had a chunk of people who, once he left, a chunk and 1/3, I'm making up the number 1/3, but a chunk, maybe 1/3, said, you know what, I'm going to hold my nose, I'm going to vote for Hillary. And then 1/3 said, I'm out. I was a Bernie guy and that's it. And he's not here, so I'm out. And about 1/3 went to Trump. About 1/3 went to Trump. Well, if Bernie would have realized how bad things were, now why am I blaming him? Because I blame myself too. I couldn't make it happen in New York either. So I guess I'm jumping on me and Bernie together are taking the blame for this one. If Bernie would have made this work, all those people would have stayed with Bernie. It would be two groups of people against the establishment. What wanted to happen when Bernie lost is Democrats became by default. That was the total switch. Boom, we are now officially the party of the establishment. That was it. Hillary Clinton made it literally the party of the establishment. That's what it was. And now Trump said, oh no, we're party of working class. Now, as you saw, they tried to take that away from him. But now they're trying to push it back again. The actual battle is between, believe it or not, this is actually a class battle within the Republican Party. I know you might think, wait a minute, you kidding me? I'm not. If you've heard what people like Steve Bannon have been saying recently, people like Laura Loomer have been saying recently, they've been saying things like, I'm not making this up, things like, we got to punish the corporations. These are Republicans. They've been saying that. We got to tax the rich. I'm not joking. They've been saying that. That's what Bernie's been saying for years. They stole Bernie's stuff. Bernie's been saying that for how long? Since I can remember. He's been saying that since I can remember. And now they're saying it. And it all started, the trigger, there we go. The trigger of this was literally the H1B1 the H1B visas. I might go, well, Larry, that's a whole bunch of people coming to our country. No, it isn't. I mean, it's a lot, but not that many. We have literally millions of people coming to our country every year. I think legally over 1 or 2 million legally every year. And then who knows how many millions that are not coming in, that are undocumented. Who knows? 5 million, yeah, whatever. X number, a whole lot. But all of that coming in, the total amount of H1B visas is about 60,000. Not even close. We're fighting over that. Why? Because we're falling back to virtue signaling. Oh, you libertarians, now you know how I feel, right? You know. They know how we feel, libertarians. They know how we feel. We're falling back to virtue signaling. That's what we're talking about. We're falling back to virtue signaling and now fighting on a battle that Republicans didn't used to fight. This wasn't the thing they ever fought. Republicans didn't go tax the rich. That wasn't the thing Republicans said. They didn't do that. They never said that. Now they're saying that? Man, it's crazy. So how do I know it's a problem? Because when Elon Musk drops an F-bomb against other Republicans, you know it's a civil war. Now, he was kind of teasing in what he said, but he still dropped an F-bomb against other Republicans. He said he would go to war. That's what he said, against other Republicans. And then immediately, everyone else backed down. No, immediately they tripled down. In fact, Bannon literally said, it's time, again, his words, to fix bayonets. I wonder if they are in a civil war. One's saying go to war. The other side's literally say to fix bayonets. Now they're doing racial attacks against each other. Yes, racial attacks. Now, the reality of it is that part bothers me because, as you all know, this really isn't. I'm sorry, hold on. AC's telling me something. AC says 60,000. Oh, plus 25 for graduate. Okay, I didn't realize that. So 60 plus 25. So, okay. So 85,000. More than that. It's like 60, I didn't know that was 25. So 60 plus 25, so 85,000. Decent amount. But there's still, 1 to 2 million coming otherwise. And then who knows how many undocumented? At least 5 million. I don't know how many, just so many. But yeah, so not crazy. But there is an issue here. They're now going to race. And they said, you'll agree with this one. It isn't about race. I'm sorry. It shouldn't be. That's a better way of saying it. It shouldn't be about race. It's about class. That's what it's really about. That's what this should really be about. They throw race in it. It's just to muddy the waters. It isn't about race. If you get a degree and you want a good job and you can't get one, nobody cares what color you are. I'm just being forward. You don't go, well, it's okay I don't have a job. I'm white. Or it's okay I don't have a job. I'm black. That's not how that works. You go, I don't have a job. I'm mad. And I got debt. That's the problem. Nobody cares what color your skin is. It's irrelevant. That piece is really a disaster. So, look, this part is good. This part is good in that the battle does show that the distinction of class is someone's talking about the working class, right? I mean, that part I think is a good part. If we're going to try to find the good parts of this, that's a good part. The bad part is the Democrats haven't learned at all. They're just still yelling Trump racist stuff. They haven't learned, right? They have not learned at all. But if you're a Democrat, if you're a leftist versus a Democrat, if you're a leftist, you may be happy this is happening. Maybe you are. If you're a Democrat, you should not be happy. And too many Democrats are acting like this is a good thing. This is not a good thing. If you're a Democrat, again, leftist and Democrat. If you are a Democrat and you tend to vote Democrat and you tend to like Democrats, I'm glad you're watching. If you are, you should be concerned because if the Republicans do pull this off, and if they find the perfect middle ground, again, this is gonna be tough to find the middle ground because you got to find a middle ground that supports the working class but doesn't go all brown people bad. In the Republican Party, that's hard to do. That's not an easy thing to do. But if they do it, they will literally become the party of the working class. And if that happens, Democratic Party is in trouble for decades. Clinton 3.0 will not work. Clinton 3.0 will not work if they do this. Now, I'm not saying they will or can. I'm not. But I'm just saying, is there a civil war? There is. Whoever wins this thing at the end, as I mentioned. Remember, I mentioned this before. I told you that there's going to be two sides fighting. And I used Vivek as one side. And that's true. Him and Elon on the same side. The tech bro side, right? That's one side of it, right? That's the one. That's the new side. New people came in. And then as the other side, it's the Mike Pences, which I said Mike Pence, but it's the Steve Bannons and Laura Loomers, right? Those two sides. They're the ones that are fighting right now. Now, a couple things that are funny. Where's Vance? People attack Vance like there's no tomorrow. That guy might be the smartest guy in the room. I don't know yet. We're going to see. He might be like, oh, you guys are fighting? I'm going to sit up on this hill and see who's going to win this thing and see what Trump says, and I'm going to jump on the Trump side. It looks like Trump has picked Elon Musk's side. That's what it looks like. Now, I'm not 100% sure not, but it looks like he's doing that. And I got to tell you, if I'm Trump, it's a better side to pick. Why? This is the old Bill Clinton thing from the 90s. Remember Bill Clinton? Those of you old enough remember Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton basically said, I'm going to ignore Democrats. Why? Where are they going to go? They're not going to vote for Bush. They're not going to vote for these guys. Where are they going to go? I'm going to ignore them, and I'm just going to, basically take Democratic Party to the right, and Democrats will shut up and vote for me. And he was right. That actually happened. I think Trump is going to find the same idea. I'm just going to ignore my MAGA people. Why? Where are they going to go? They're going to come to me anyway. They still love me. He might be right. I can see, because right now he's kind of doing that. Right now he's like giving lip service to them a little bit, but really he's on the Elon train. He's like, Elon, Vivek, I'm on their train. I'm doing that thing. He's the one who's like, we don't need to ban TikTok. TikTok's awesome. Obviously loves TikTok. Obviously, so yeah, he's on that side. So I think that's where he's going. So it makes sense. However, there's a however piece here on this. There's a secondary aspect to this. And I think this is the second reason why he's doing it. The donor class. Now, here's the hardest part. Again, the Republican Party has to make a big juggle. And I've been telling you all how hard it is. I hope now you're seeing it. If you're Republican leadership now, you have to somehow become the party of the working class, which you have not been. So you've got to become that somehow. Meanwhile, every other person in your cabinet is a billionaire, literally a billionaire, but you have to become the party of the working class. Okay, that's challenge, and I'm not even done with challenge. That's challenge number one. On top of that, you're going to have to somehow get the MAGA people, who mostly are working class. Most of the working class are MAGA people. That's true. Most of them are. You got to bring them in, but kind of ignore MAGA. Ooh, that's tough too. And you got to keep your donor class happy. And your donor class is obviously lots of billionaires. Meanwhile, your rhetoric has to be tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. Now, to be forward, establishment Democrats have been doing this for a long time. Establishment Democrats have been saying, we're so far left. We're, oh my God, we're the left as you possibly are. We're so left, tax the rich. They've been saying that for decades. And then they get rid of anyone who's actually left in the Democratic Party, right? They get rid of all the actual lefties. But they've been saying it good. So they played that game very well for decades. Established Democrats have. Very well. And then they turned AOC against her own people. I mean, well done for established Democrats. How now do Republicans deal with this challenge? This is not an easy thing at all. How do you support immigration and then hate migrants? How do you do those two? That can it be done? Yes. Democrats did it for years. For years, they did it. Now, of course, it's not working for them, but they did. Can they do that? Now, the piece I will add that I think is a way of doing it, a way of doing it is to find a third way. I think that third way is the people they're not talking about right now. I think that third way is the RFK Jr. side. And I think Democrats know that, which is why they've still been attacking him. I think they know that. That's why they've been attacking him still. They're not leaving him alone. I think that could be a third way. That we go, well, I don't like all this other stuff, but MAHA's kind of cool. I guess we'll do the MAHA thing. Now, why would I think that's true? Because this year, I saw so many people who are either Democrats or Republicans or independents who decided to vote for Trump. It wasn't because Trump. It wasn't because immigration. It wasn't because border. It wasn't because China. It wasn't because any of that stuff. It was because of RFK. It was because of MAHA. It was because of that. I met dozens of people, and the stats show it was millions. That seems to be a concept. Let me grab a couple comments before I keep going. I got a bunch of things I want to cover, but by the way, thank you, AC, for the details. I knew it was on 6,000. I did not get the 25,000 piece. So, all righty. Vivek says, ooh, this should be good. I think we all knew civil war was coming. I think people thought it would happen in a couple of years. Well, no, it's not that kind. It could get me canceled here. I mean, a political one. And I thought it was going to happen next year. I thought it would happen after the confirmations. Right? After the confirmations happen, then they would stop butting heads. Then they'd have to kind of mix this somehow and make this work. That is what I assumed. But yeah, no, actually, I think it happened a whole lot earlier than I thought, but I knew it would happen. I mean, I told you this months ago. The second RFK Jr. jumped on the board. This is just how things work. Vivek says, also goes on, Coleman Hughes taking us to great, essentially of libertarian Republican tech bros versus conservative Republicans. Can I just insult them by calling them all libertarians? Elon Musk is not libertarian. So no. This is one of the problems, and I'm going to go off for a second, I'll come back, that libertarians have. So many people use the libertarian label when not libertarians. I remember a couple years back, every other Republican who didn't like Trump was like, I'm more like a libertarian. They always said it, but no, they're just conservatives. And I'm not mad at conservatives, but Trump's not a conservative. So they didn't want to say conservative because people linked Trump with conservatives because he was Republican. So they found another word. And they said, I'm more libertarian. I'm like, no, you're a conservative, which is fine, but you're not me. So I'm going to say, Vivek, no, that is not accurate. I would say tech bros versus MAGA or MAGA. Tech bros versus MAGA. That's what it is. Not libertarian Republicans, but conservative. The conservative Republicans. So Bannon, who wants to tax the rich, he's a conservative now. Is that who he is? Bannon's a conservative. He wants to tax the rich and tax corporations. His words, not mine. He says he wants to. No, that is inaccurate, my friend. That is inaccurate. No, I know they want to say it, but it's not true. He goes on to say, also said, national libertarians versus national protectionists. Boo! Pull that libertarian word out your mouth. No. Look, we libertarians, we get our ass kicked enough. We don't have to be on this too. It's not true. It is not true at all. No, not a thing. I know Robbie Sobe says that, but he's a Republican anyway. He pretends to be a libertarian. He's Republican anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So he just one of his people. It's all good. So yes. Anyway, Kim says no Sharpe again. I probably should have won one today, but I've been trying to think about if I should change that, right? I've been wearing the Larry Sharpe for governor shirt for so long on all my stuff, and I've been thinking, I'm not running for governor until 2026 if I run. Should I change my look? Should I change what I'm doing? I've been changing a lot of stuff in the show. I don't know. I'm happy to, if you guys say I should just go back to wearing the Sharpe shirts. I'm happy. I thought simple was good, so I just went a simple shirt, a simple short sleeve. But I don't know. I could go back to my hoodie. I gotta have more laundry now if I do this stuff. I have less laundry, I guess, if I just keep wearing the same damn Sharpe shirts. But I'm open either way. I have a Sharpe Way shirt, maybe two of those. I have two Larry Sharpe for governor hoodies, and like a dozen Larry Sharpe for governor shirts. Some from the old style, some from the new style, maybe even more than maybe 20. I have a lot of Larry Sharpe for governor shirts. I used to wear them every day. Like literally, I wore them every day for a year and a half. Every day for a year and a half. So that's why I have so many of them, and I still have them. So I travel for 9 days. So I'd sometimes use 2 a day. Sometimes if I sweat too much because I would be on events. So I'd go through 10 shirts in a week easy, and then after so yeah, I had lots of them, probably over a dozen. So any case, all right. Let's see here. Shelly says, good evening. I had to change from 1.5 to normal speed to be able to understand Larry. I do speak quickly, my dear. I do. It's my thing. Pete. Yes, indeed. This is a piece that matters. That, by the way, now no one's talking about it again. We'll get back to it again. But right now it's all about, again, it is right now they're doing what drives me crazy. They are now doing virtue signaling right now. Virtue signaling laws. I hate immigrants. I love immigrants. I love brown people. I hate brown people. That's what they're doing right now, which doesn't mean anything. That's just I'm on the MAGA side. I'm on the tech bro side. That's what they're doing. So 36 trillion, 161 billion, 621 million, $15,445.57. That is how much we all owe for our national debt, which people will tell you national debt doesn't matter. It's MMT, known as one of two things, modern monetary theory, or AKA the magic money tree. Doesn't matter. Just print away. And for everyone who thinks MMT is real, and some people do, I know I have people on my show who think MMT is real. It's not real, but it's fine. Feel what you want. Here is my request, my question to you. If it's true, if MMT is actually real, and we don't really owe anybody, it doesn't matter, why don't we give every American a mulligan every 10 years? Just have the U.S. government absorb all consumer debt every 10 years. Why not? We don't owe anybody. And what they'll say is, no, because then eventually there'll be inflation. Well, I thought we don't owe anybody. So it doesn't matter. Well, no, there's a limit. So we do owe people. No, it doesn't work. It is not a thing. If it doesn't matter, just print the money. Then there's another thing where you can just print one big coin and pay it back and just announce that it's worth it. I'm not joking. You just say, this is a $36 trillion coin. Why? Because I said so, because Congress deemed it so. This is a true thing people are talking about. Pete, I know Pete's head's ready to explode. I can just make a coin, mint it, because I can mint coins come to the Constitution. And the Congress goes, that coin is $36 trillion coin. Debt paid. And then people were like, yeah, we can just do that. Well, then why aren't we doing that then? If that's real, do it tomorrow. Print the coin. 36, do 37 trillion and give them a little tip. That's your tip. Take some extra. Make 38 trillion. You get $1 trillion on top, because you were good. You let us hang out with you. You were good to us. Here's 38 trillion. Keep change. Do that. Or better, make a $39 trillion coin. Give them 38 to the other trillion, split amongst us. We all get a little bit. Take $1 trillion, divide it by 330 million people, throw a little cash our way. It's not bad. All right, I'm gonna go further. Let's not even do 39 trillion. I'm better, Pete. Let's do 330 million, 330, 330 plus 36, so 340, whatever, 360 some odd trillion dollar coins, and everyone gets $1 trillion. There we go. So yes, whatever. Oh, good. Anyway, I'm yapping away. I'll stop talking trash, but you put it up, so I had to do something. So yes. So Phil says the Ramaswamy / Vance debate was inevitable. I'm not sure you put Vance on the right side here, Phil. Vance may be on, that may be the same side. Remember, Vance's wife is Indian. Vance, that might not be that might be a Ramaswamy somebody else debate, but it may not be Vance. Vance is gonna you might have him on the wrong side. So yes. Ryan says, so much unity, I'm gonna get my popcorn ready. This is gonna get good. That's why I'm talking about it. I'm telling you, you're gonna watch insults go back and forth. You're gonna watch power plays go back and forth. You're gonna watch people have to push. They can't give in. And the reason why they can't give in is because their side wants them to fight. Their side, the reason why people follow Bannon at all is not because he's super smart or super good looking. It's because this guy does not shut up and he keeps fighting. That's why they like him. Lola, same thing. Same thing. Never stops fighting. Always ready to put her dukes up and fight anybody, anytime. And her followers love her. I know Laura. She's been on my show. Okay? She is prepared. She will defend Donald Trump at any cost. In the street, if need be. She'll be swinging in the streets if need be. She does not care. Bannon too. The advantage Trump has is he is the center. Now, if you remember, I brought this up before, which was if Trump actually does somehow quit, get ill, get impeached, whatever, leave, what happens to the party? He is the unifying force. And I said, if he leaves and whatever he's done, you will watch all of a sudden things begin to collapse in the Republican Party. There will be an obvious battle. And the people now know that, and they are now pushing themselves for the leadership position. They are jockeying. Now, for those of you who love RFK Jr., as I do too, I did say something, if you remember. I said he's going to struggle for 2028. Why did I say that? Because people are going to start trying to box him out so that they can be the great guy for 2028. And that's not his skill set. Well, what do you see right now? Do you see him getting in, taking positions, boxing people out? No. This is why so many of us like him and worry about him. He's actually trying to get stuff done. He's not playing the game. Elon's playing the game. Vivek is playing the game. Bannon's playing the game. Loomer's playing the game. They're already boxing people out. And Vance is picking his side. He's like, what side am I going to jump on? He's like, what side I'm going to jump on? Well, hold on. Who's winning? I'm going to jump on that side. I'm not sure that RFK Jr. is going to be as good as he would like to be. That's all I'm saying. Let me grab a couple off of Rumble. This is Straight End. Straight End says, Trump will make the needed deals to bring them together and love the challenge of the deal. I'm not saying you're wrong. To be forward, Straight End, I'm not saying you're wrong. If anyone can do this, it is Trump if it can be done. I'm just not sure it can be done. It may be a bridge too far. This is a big challenge that I've just brought up. It's not an easy thing to do. But if someone can, it is him. He's the one who has the force of personality that is stronger than all the rest. So it is, and he has loyalty. There's a lot of people who are very loyal to Trump. And if Trump forced his hand, at least half of the MAGA people, even if he's doing something wrong, at least half, if not more than half, at least half, would bend the knee because they're very loyal to him. And they would, right? All the people who like Bannon, all people who like Loomer, if they actually butted heads, I'm not sure they would. I think Loomer or Bannon might themselves bend the knee and go, fine. I do think it could happen. So I agree. Jordan says, no red ball cap, please. I don't use it. When I'm out, I do wear a Yankee hat. That's true. I wear a Yankee cap when I'm out. Usually the black one with either the black New York or the white New York. I do wear a ball cap when I'm out. I usually wear a hoodie and a ball cap when I'm out, to tell you the truth. I often do. So I am a New Yorker. So that's what I do. Pickup says, Larry's victory lap. Well, maybe. I'm just enjoying the fact that I did call this earlier. I said how hard it would be. I told you there'd be a civil war. I said it would be two factions. I told you people would start boxing each other out. And for those who are watching, exactly what I said is happening. Like literally what I said is happening. You can see it. Everything I mentioned happening immediately. So yes. All right. See if I can grab here. James says, apparently the GOP is so scared of Trump not being certified due to the risk of no speaker. Like, who the F cares? Trump will still be president and life won't change. Thank God I didn't vote GOP. Well, then move to this. Let me move to the speaker piece. Let me move to this piece. He's backing Mike Johnson as speaker. He could have done nothing. He could have said nothing. That was the option he could have had. He didn't take that option. And I think that was the right move. He should not have, he should have taken it, because one thing Mike Johnson is loyal to him. And Trump cares about loyalty. And in this case, he's not always right to care about loyalty. He's made mistakes because of loyalty. And as everyone, I've done it too. A lot of people have. RFK Jr. made mistakes because of loyalty. Yes, people make mistakes because of loyalty. In this case, he's right. You're fighting a civil war. Loyalty is key, right? Loyalty is key. You want Mike Johnson on your side. Mike Johnson controls a very important thing in the Congress. Whoever's the speaker controls what gets voted on and has a massive control of the cash. A lot of control over cash that goes out to each one. So if Johnson has Trump on his side, Johnson can squeeze a whole lot of people to do his bidding. And Trump knows that. And that's why he's doing it. That's why he backed him. He's worried if he gets someone like a Jim Jordan or Jordan or someone like that he may be an ideologue. He doesn't want that. He wants loyalty. He doesn't want ideologue. And here's the problem. Right now, the Republican Party is having a real discussion. This part, again, is good if you're a Republican. If you're a Republican, this part's good if you're a Republican, which is the Republican Party is actually having a discussion about its principles. It's having that conversation about principles, which you go back a couple years. No, it wasn't. It was, what did Trump say? Okay, that's it. What did Trump say? Okay, it's that. Why? Well, Trump said it. The Republican Party, if you remember, literally did not have a platform. You might go, what? Yeah, the Libertarian Party had a platform. The Republican Party had no platform. The platform was what Trump says. That's the platform. That was their platform in 2020. I'm just saying, now you're having a conversation. Democrats got their ass kicked this year. And how many of their leaders were changed? Right, none. Not one. All Democratic leadership stayed exactly the same after the ass whipping they took this year. Democrats have learned nothing. If you're a Democrat, you should be upset. Why aren't we learning? Why aren't we talking? Why aren't we having conversations? They're not. Republicans, while they're falling apart, at least they're having conversations now. At the end of this pain, there is a chance. I don't know how high it is because the establishment's very strong, but there is a chance you could have a more working class Republican Party. There is a chance that could happen. So that's all I'm saying. Peace, thank you for the $2. He says, simple black shirt looks good. Like, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I just thought it was simple. I didn't want to go too crazy, like have something on it, whatever. So I thought simple was the right answer. That's it. So any case, thank you for that. And what, by the way, that was super chat. If you guys want to super chat me, you always can. You can super chat me if you want to on YouTube, or rant me if you want on Rumble. I'm live on Rumble now also if you want to. You can become a member on YouTube if you want to, either Larry Sharpe or Sharpeway, $49 per month. Click that join button. Keeps me going. Keeps me able to come and do my victory lap and tell you how right I was yet again. I'm wrong sometimes too, but when it comes to stuff like this, my predictions tend to be right. I tend to be correct, which is why I give so many of them in advance. I'm not always right, but I tend to. If you bet on me, you're going to overall win. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you bet on me, you're going to overall win. So, or you can become a member on Rumble. You have to click subscribe during the live only. If you're watching this on Rumble and it's already over, there's no subscribe button. So it's got to be while it's live if you do that. Please, if you would, share and repost this now. But no matter what, click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo, please, known as like, that tells Mr. Rhythm, Al Gore, Rhythm, it tells him to show this to more people because you like it. So do that so that Mr. Rhythm will do his job and help us out. So please do that. I would appreciate it. So yes. John says, taxing the rich just makes their accountants work hard at hiding all their money. Accurate. Yes, John. Clearly, you know I'm a libertarian. I'm not going to be like, the answer is just more taxation. I'm clearly never going to believe it to be true, right? My point in bringing that up is, if you go back 4 years, you don't have Laura Loomer saying tax the rich. You don't have Steve Bannon saying tax the rich. You don't have them saying that. All of a sudden, now they're anti-corporation. Why are they anti-corporation? Because MAGA is trying to be working class. Why? Because the MAGA voter base is, right? Again, I make a distinction between the elites in the party and the voter base. The elites in the party are nowhere near working class. Not even close, right? And most of the people now in Trump world, they're literally billionaires. So they're nowhere near working class. But the voters are. That's your base. Your voters are working class people in America. That's true. That's what happened to the Republican Party recently. That's what's happened. How do you fix that? Well, you start saying tax the rich. Evil corporations. H1B visas are bad because we don't get our cool jobs. Now, there is some, I'm going to talk about the H1B visa. There are some bad things to it. There's good too, but there's some bad things to it. And some of the bad things are literally tech bros are firing people and then asking for more H1B visas. That's actually happening. That's actually happening. So yes, they're doing that. And they're kind of saying, well, we don't want to pay the Americans so much, we'll pay the foreigners less. And I get it. So if you're an American who got your degree and whatever, you're pissed off, you're losing your job, and here comes somebody else from out of the country getting that job. I get it. Not just that. It allows people to exploit that labor. I get it, 100%. But I still don't think I'm against immigration all of a sudden. I don't mind that. Let the immigrants come. Now, not out of nowhere. As I've said before, we need to have, as I mentioned before, a system of vetting everybody. Let them come. I don't like the idea of having any kind of specialized visas. At all. At all. Just come in through the system, get a work visa, work, pay your taxes, all the stuff you need to do, go home when you want to go home. Why? If you go home when you want to go home, you don't necessarily bring your entire family. What are you talking about, lad? You bring your whole family. They don't always want to. That's not real. How do I know that? Because prior to our stupid laws that we made, stop people from crossing the border, people used to come over, work, and go home. Most people like their own country. Not all, obviously. Most do. So you want to come over, work, and then you head back home. Okay, great. Life is good. Come over, work, head back home. Life is good. We don't do that anymore. Now you can't come back, so you bring your whole family. Maybe you don't want to bring your whole family. Maybe you don't want to be in our school system. Maybe you want to be in your own school system. It's fine. Doesn't matter. My point being, there are some issues with the H1B visa, so get rid of them all. Make a work visa. Come work. Go back home. Stay for 2 years, go back home. Reapply for your work visa again. And it should be that easy. It should be just go to Ellis Island and apply. Should be a couple of weeks max. Maximum couple of weeks, maybe like a day or whatever. Just check them out. Did the person do something wrong? They get in trouble. They pay their taxes. Are they good? They get arrested. No, okay, go back to work 2 more years. Keep going. Life is good. Just do that. You want to go home? Go home. Whatever. We don't do any of that. We do all this crazy stuff so that guys like Elon Musk can take advantage of the system. In fact, Meta, by the way, because you know this, Meta is literally designated as an H1B dependent corporation. Yes. Meta, according to Meta, cannot survive as a company without H1B visas. That's what Meta says. That's where we are right now. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I've been talking about the way to fix immigration for literally years. We don't do it. We just make it to where the wrong people are we make it to where we're allowing bad people in and hurting Americans and getting no advantage to it. Doesn't make any sense. Anyway, let me keep going down the road if I can. Liberty Lady, thank you for the $2. If you don't see the subscribe button, try going to rumble.com versus the Rumble app. Do this on a desktop web browser for best results on becoming a subscriber on Rumble. There we go. For the Rumble people, there we go. I appreciate that. Yes. Joel says, why not personal magic money tree for each person? It makes as much sense. No, because then government won't have control, Joel. See, Joel, you don't care. Government has to have control. How is government going to control you if you can just print your own money? Do you think about that, you selfish person, Joel? How can government keep their thumb on you? How can they keep the boot on the back of your neck if they don't control your money? You not thinking about that? Give up the program. Anyway, so yes. All righty. Let me keep going down here. Grab a couple more of these if I could. I do appreciate all the back and forth. Phil says, Steve Bannon believes that libertarians have been in control of government for 40 years. His only proof is immigration and free trade. Bannon intentionally represents libertarian thought all the time. Many Republicans do. Many Republicans are terrible against us. Democrats too. But Democrats usually ignore us, to be forward. Democrats just ignore us like we don't exist. Republicans mischaracterize us constantly. Democrats often do also, but usually ignore us. But yeah, 100% true. Let me walk down a couple more roads if I could. One of the biggest pieces that we're seeing here, believe it or not, which is, again, is a good, there is a big good thing about this, as messy as it is. And the good thing is we're watching the donor class in America for the first time up front. And we haven't really watched them as much. Like, we knew there were big donors. Like, we knew they existed. But now it's like, oh, that's the guy. Oh, because they're all getting cabinet positions. So, that's the billionaire. That billionaire. Okay. Oh, that's the billionaire. That's actually not a bad thing. Transparency is the first step to change. It isn't enough, if that makes any sense, right? Transparency is not enough, but without it, there's nothing else. So we have to get the transparency first, then we move to that next level. So I'm very happy we're getting transparency now. It's the right answer. We should not be upset about this. This is a good thing. Seeing this stuff happen is a good thing. So yes, the AC says, please, they'll unify and mess the rest up. Depends upon how you define mess up. Are you saying they'll mess it up in that the Republican Party will still fail? It won't be a working class party at all? Maybe. Or are you saying they can't be it? So they'll just pretend like Democrats have for the past 10 years, 20 years, however long it's been, and then still just be a donor, controlled by donors? That I think is more likely, right? I think that's more likely. I think it's more likely if the Republicans do this right, and I'm doing air quotes, AC, because who decides what right is? For the Republican establishment, let me tell you what they would see as right. The Republican establishment would see the correct way of doing it is to give lip service enough to the working class to get the working class to believe that the Republican Party has become the party of the working class, but still just be in the pocket of big donors. That's what they would see as, well done, we've done it, right? That will be the piece. What would actually be better, an actual win with the Republican Party, would be more of an actual working class party, right? That would be much better if that would actually happen. Now, I don't expect the Republican Party to be a great working class party. I don't expect any of them to be, to tell you the truth. Just better, right? When it comes to rhetoric, right now, the working class party is the Green Party when it comes to rhetoric. The Green Party has no power, but rhetoric. And this, by the way, is a problem for the Democratic Party, which is why they always try to attack the Greens and attack Jill Stein, right? I think it's not. I think it's better for the elites that Jill Stein exists. Let me explain why. If you're a MAGA Republican or a tech bro Republican and the Republican Party screws up, where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? No place to go. The Conservative Party isn't a real party across the country. I mean, maybe Constitution Party, but Constitution Party is really heavy on virtue signaling, and Libertarians are too. So, I mean, is that where you go? But if you are a Democrat and you're pissed off, you can go to Jill Stein. You can go to, at the last time, Cornell West. You have a place to go. You can go someplace. You got someplace to go. Okay. And I go, wait a minute, Larry. Isn't that a bad thing? No, because you're not breaking the party up. Right? Getting Bernie Sanders to bend the knee in 16 and again in 20 and again in 2024. He bent the knee 3 times. Well, that means nobody in the party is going to fight the party. You have to go outside the party. Trump was able to trash the Republican Party and actually fight within the party and try to change the party, which he has clearly done. Now, will he be able to finish the job? That's the question you and I are talking about. Super Weapon says, this just proves that conservatives are just as stupid and susceptible to the lunacy born of the left. Libertarians too at times, unfortunately. Yes. Because people are people, man. You're right. Because people are people. Hall Crash says, lots of H1Bs go home too. Yes, that is also true. They work here, get the money, and go home. And my worry is for some of those, are some of those H1Bs, and it is true, are they learning how to build big businesses and taking that home and then building those businesses? That sucks. I wish they build them here. A lot of them do, but yeah. Carl says, Trump, RFK, Tulsi, Elon, Rogan, all have a Democrat/liberal background. No wonder there's going to be a civil war in the Republican Party. Yes, we see that happen in the Libertarian Party when Republicans come over. Conservative Republicans will come to the Libertarian Party and think, well, you guys are basically just us. But they also think something else. Republicans who come to the Libertarian Party often think they're senior and smarter than us. That's what they believe. Well, we're better than you because we're Republicans. You guys like our younger brothers. They often think that. So they come here to the Libertarian Party and then realize, oh, wait, you guys are different. Yeah, we kind of are. Yeah. And then we say, you got to leave. And they get mad. Happens all the time. William says, I appreciate your predictive punditry. Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you for $2. I appreciate it. Yes, I am trying my best to keep this going so that I'm hoping that you guys are able to see how things flow, and then you can make better decisions politically yourselves when you watch how things flow, because they tend to flow the same way, right? Yes. IC says, race should have entered the picture with regards to the visa issue. Yes. I see, but here's the problem. When you're virtue signaling on the left or the right, you start doing things that you probably shouldn't do because you want to virtue signal. And boy, is race easy to virtue signal with, isn't it? One of the easiest ways to virtue signal, right? As a man of color, all of a sudden I virtue signaled. See, I'm virtuous. I said the words. There we go. And whatever I say after that's probably stupid, but doesn't matter because I said the words. Therefore, you can attack what I just said. Otherwise, you're evil, right? Because I virtue signaled. So, yes. Pickleball says, Trump sided with his own class, shocked Pikachu face. Yes, right? Now, but here's the issue, Pickleball. I know that's funny, but literally tens of millions of working class Americans voted for him. Literally tens of millions of working class voters voted for him. How do you fix that? How do you get around that? How do you deal with that? When, to your point, he sides with his class with tens of millions of people doing it. IC says the battle is good, shows that Republicans can debate publicly and come to a consensus. Dems just cancel you if you disagree. I'm not sure the first part's true yet. I'm not sure yet. Do people get canceled? I don't know yet. So I think theoretically, I see that's true. I don't know if it is true yet, right? Because now when this begins to happen, the Democrats started canceling when they started getting a lot of rebellion. So they went to cancellation. And for them, it worked, right? They kept, the leaders are all still intact. They're all still making tons of money. They're all still in power. Cancellation worked for Democratic establishment, not for the party itself. The party's in trouble. But the establishment people, that's what I care about. The establishment, they care about themselves. Republicans too, by the way. We're talking about differences in what's happening, but establishment doesn't care about us at all. So Democratic establishment worked perfectly, right? They all kept their jobs. They all have tons of money. They all still have tons of power. They're all fine. Cancellation was perfect. Bernie bent the knee. They threw out Marianne Williamson. They threw out RFK Jr., right? They threw out all the guys who they don't like. They got rid of them all. And then they brought in some Republicans who got mad at Trump. They brought them in. That's fine, right? So they fine for them. Republicans right now are debating publicly. They might react the same way. You might find them to start canceling too. I'm not sure. I could see it though. I could see them starting to cancel also. You can't watch these guys. Don't talk about these guys. They're the bad guys. You see, it's already getting nasty. And right now, Trump picked a side. I get that he picked a side. If it's me, and I'm not sure what happened, this is what I would do if it's me. I think I send Vance out to be peacemaker. I think I send Vance out to be peacemaker. That to me is a good deal. Send Vance out to be peacemaker. And then try to make this thing work. Say you're speaking for me, then have Trump come in and do something symbolic. It must be symbolic. Why? This is virtue signaling. That's what it is. It's virtue signaling. Second person you can use is RFK Jr. These people who haven't picked a side yet, you can pick RFK Jr. Have RFK Jr. come in and pick a side. The problem is a lot of people don't like him. So the Democrats specifically will attack RFK Jr. when he comes out. They're crazy. Blah, 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 blah. And once Democrats attack, nothing unites Republicans more than angry Democrats. Nothing unites Democrats more than Trump, right? So you want to unite your party? Find an enemy. Let RFK come back out. Democrats attack RFK. Republicans get mad. You can't attack our people. They defend RFK. They get back together again. I know this sounds silly. It's still true. You got two people who could fix this right now. And then Trump comes in as overall, I bless you guys because I'm the God King and life is good, right? That's what should happen right now. You use either RFK Jr. or you use, you could use Tulsi maybe. Maybe. I think RFK Jr. and Vance probably have a bit more charisma in that regard. I feel like Tulsi has more gravitas. That's what my feeling is. But yeah, you use those to try to draw in Republicans to fight. So yes. Carl says Republican Party is going to become a big tent party. It is already right now. That isn't, Carl, before it is that right now. The question is, can they maintain it? Currently, it is that. Right now, the Republican Party is simply everybody who's not a Democrat. That's who it is right now. It's everyone who isn't a Democrat. That's who Republicans are. Oh, mainstream, I should say. If you're not mainstream, you're a Green or Libertarian. But assuming you're a mainstream at all, if you're not a Democrat, you're a Republican. That's how it is right now. So it's already there. My question is, can you keep it? It is not going to be easy. The AC says, it's not middle ground. Trump will say something. All of his simps will say, yes, my Lord. I'm not sure of that. Again, now they're in power. And once they get in power, they're not united anymore. I'm not sure. You are seeing some people be upset. I'm not sure of that one, AC. IC says old MAGA versus new MAGA. Kind of. It's kind of true. Yes. IC says Vance has been super quiet. I agree. A smart move, especially once around 2028. Yep. Pickenbell goes on to say Vance has one foot on both sides. Let me touch that piece if I can. There is value to being attacked and defending yourself. The power that Elon Musk has, and this is a serious power, and that's the power of Twitter, but not just that. Because he's Elon Musk now, he also has the power of mainstream media. Why? When he says something that is, he's the tech Trump. When he says something that is controversial, all mainstream media picks it up because they want to make him a bad guy. Mainstream media wants to make him a bad guy for sure. You see it, right? For sure. So when he says, drops the F-bomb, everyone sees it. Everybody sees it. So he has a lot of power. So Vance doesn't have that yet. He's got to figure out where he's got to go. Garrett, thank you for the 10 membership. Guys, live show memberships, grab them if you could. 10 memberships, amazing. Thank you so much. Every membership counts. Please go ahead and do that. And again, next month, I will have a members show where you can come on the show. I'll be putting that out probably this week sometime. If you want to jump on board, please jump on board. Thank you so much, Garrett, for that. I appreciate it. And again, you can become a member on your own. But grab one of his if you want to. Happy to have you. So yes, please do that. All righty. Craig says, I've seen leftists say it's cheap immigrant labor to undercut the working class. They make a distinction between immigrant class and working class. There's a yes and a no here. Obviously, the immigrant class is working class. Obviously, yes, because they're working here. So, of course. Are there some who come here and just scam? Oh, there's some, but most people come here and work. That's just true. I see it here in New York all the time. I see it. Most of them come here and work. But I'll go one step further, Greg, and you know this too. You're in the farming world. There's a lot of Americans, and people don't like when I say this, but it doesn't matter. It's still true. There are a lot of Americans who simply don't want to do that kind of work. They just won't. It doesn't matter how much you pay them. And you might go, that's not true. People don't do much. It's no, you're wrong. They did it. Was it Alabama? I forgot which one. It was a southern state, probably 10 years ago, maybe in that area. Literally said they're not going to support any migrants in the farms anymore. And what happened? Literally, the crops just sat there, didn't move. And the farmers were like, they were raising rates. They were like, we'll pay you whatever. If the going rate was $15 an hour, they'll pay you $25 an hour. They'd have to pay a rate to where literally no one would buy the vegetables. So the state was like, we're just kidding. Let the migrants back in again. So they don't want to do it. They just don't. And I'm not trying to be mean, right? I'm not saying Americans, people say, well, Americans are lazy. That isn't the issue. Americans have been told for decades that the answer is go to college. The answer is get a cool computer job, make 6 figures a year at Google. That's the answer. And then they see that stuff on TikTok or on, whatever, Instagram Reels, whatever is the cool thing the kids are watching, whatever that thing of the day is. And they go, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into $100,000 in debt, get a degree, and I'm going to make $100,000 a year in front of a computer, hanging out, playing hacky sack or whatever is the cool thing that kids play today, right? Whatever. I'm old, so I don't know if they play. Whatever they play, that's what they're going to do. No one told them, no, you could just go to work and make a living wage. Particularly if you're like a tradesman, you could do really well. They said that's for dumb kids. That's for the bad kids. We've been telling our kids this for decades. So that's one of the reasons. So yes, you see it in dating. There are women who will not date a tradesman. They'd rather date some guy who's got a job where he has to wear a tie or a collared shirt and he makes half the amount of money than a guy who's, working with his hands. You see it all the time. I mean, not all women, obviously, but there's a bunch of women who are that way. I see it in New York City all the time. Oh, he's not. Remember that joke, that meme? Guy's got to be 6'5", blonde hair, blue eyes, be in finance, whatever. I mean, not everyone's in finance, but the concept is I want a guy who's in a cool job like that. So yes, I went a little bit off on that, but you guys get my point. Let me just keep going. All right. Let me keep going. Phil says, I expect immigration and H1B reform of some kind, a high wall with a big door. Yeah. I think, to be forward with you, Phil, you'll see no real change. I think this is virtue signaling. I think you'll see no real change. This is just virtue signaling. This is, no, MAGA is, no, it's not tech bros. I think this is virtue signaling to draw people in to try to make sure that we position ourselves. There are people who are MAGA now who are worried. And it's a valid concern if you're a MAGA person. If you are MAGA, you should be concerned. There's a valid concern that this party, the Republican Party, gets taken over by tech bros. It's sexy. Pinkerbell is correct. That's their donor class. That's their class. She is correct. This is a real worry. It could absolutely happen. Look, the Republican Party is much easier for it to retain, to stay not a party of the working class. It's easier. Its infrastructure is made for that, to take the big dollars, support the big donors, to support big corporate. Its infrastructure is made for that. It's way easier to do that. So it's a real problem. The MAGA crowd trying to make the Republican Party a working class party needs to fight to change the shift. But they also find the answer where they do that, but don't become the party of I hate brown people. They can't become that either. So they've got to be able to deal with both of those. And again, not an easy task. I said again, if anyone can do it, if it can be done, it is Trump. or no? Picklebell says, yeah, look at where the Dems are in the toilet. True, but it worked for years. If the Democratic Party was the actual party of working class, there'd be no movement for Marianne Williamson. There'd be no movement for Jill Stein. There'd be no movement for them. They'd be Democrats. There'd be no movement, but they aren't. So, yes. Shelley says, Maha seems to be popular with people despite the media trying to claim that he's anti-back. Yep. People still like it. People still like it. Shannon says, I was going to vote RFK. Trump was my second choice. Yes. Very common. Very common. 100%. Superweapon says, the best thing for Democrats is for the Republicans to start infighting. Geez, you really can't see this is nonsense. I'm not sure. I agree with you on Superweapons. I think I see as a point. Seeing this now is the chance for the Republican Party to become, look, if the RFK Juniors and Tulsi Gabbards of the world are going to find a home, they're not going to find a Democratic Party. The Democratic Party has doubled and tripled down on establishment. Literally, they have turned AOC into establishment when she was originally going to be this new whatever. She's now completely establishment. Biden is telling people he was going to win. You see that? He thought he was going to win. It's their fault. He was going to beat Trump. He thought he was going to win this. I told you he thought that, and now it's true. He said it. This man honestly thinks that Democratic Party screwed up, and if they just would have left him staying, he'd beat Trump. He honestly believes that. I don't know how, but yes, he does. So he believes that. So they've doubled and tripled down. So there's no home for these people in the Democratic Party. They either have to find a third party, which right now there isn't one that will take them, right? One that has no power. Or they have to turn a chunk of the Republican Party to be that. So yes. P says, will Trump give a G card to all college students? No, I don't think that's going to happen. That was to be forward. Trump understood something, or at least his people did. I don't know if he did, but his people did. Trump or his people understood that there is so much damn money in the tech bros, literally billions of dollars. And we see it clearly with Elon, Vivek, just billions of dollars that they are prepared to spend. They're prepared to give it out. They're ready to do it, right? I wish Libertarians had people like that who are prepared to drop $250,000, $500,000, $1 billion, $250 million, right? I wish we had those kind of people. We don't have them. Republicans do, Democrats do. Tech bros have all of it, right? So he saw that. And tech bros clearly like immigration, particularly college student immigration. That's where a bunch of their people come from. That's how they make all their goddamn cash. Of course. So he knew that. That's why he said, no, all the college students just get a visa, of course. And the tech bros went, that's my guy. That's my guy. Oh, yes, that's my guy. If you know now, all of a sudden now, you got Trump who likes TikTok all of a sudden. All of a sudden, not so anti-China when it comes to TikTok. All of a sudden, it's okay. Why? Well, a lot of tech bros got a lot of cash in places like TikTok, growing in places like China. You want to keep that tech bro money, and there's a lot of it. I mean, we see it. I'm not trying to be flippant when I say it, but we see it, right? Was it $250 million that Elon gave total, or spent? Not gave, spent. You give me $250 million. I mean, I'll be president with that. You kidding me? You kidding me? That's insane. That's insane. So, yes. All righty. Kim says, how about no shirt? I could do that, but then I might get canceled. But I appreciate the thought. Thank you. Yes. Craig says you could wear your Don't Give Up New York hat. I do wear that sometimes too. I have a hat. I'll go get it. Maybe it's got a gold Don't Give Up New York. So yes. Shan says the tea looks good. Thank you. Andrea says, but all the bad boys wear Larry Sharpe hoodies. See that? I gotta be a bad boy. Maybe that's it. I gotta be a bad boy. All right. Let's see here. Who owns the national debt? The debt officially, the government owes The government has to pay back money to people who bought bonds, basically, right? So whoever bought the bonds, we have to pay them back. So the bonds come due, and when we pay the bonds back, the problem is we don't have enough money to pay the bonds. So what do? We sell more bonds. So for this example, Matt, let's say the Chinese government wants to buy a bunch of bonds. So it does. It buys $1 billion in bonds. And we have to pay back the bonds in 2 years or whatever. I forgot how long the time period is. For sake of argument, 2 years. 2 years, we're going to pay the bonds back, and we're going to pay $1.2 billion back to them, right? So we don't have $1.2 billion. What do? We sell more bonds. So now the Japanese buy those bonds, right? They $1.2 billion for the bonds. We take that money and give it to the Chinese. Now the Chinese have that cash. What do with that cash? They buy our goods. That's how they get dollars. That's how the dollars keep going out. So they buy our goods, they are dollars. And the cycle continues. So different companies, different people, even different organizations, right? Sometimes sovereign funds will even buy our bonds, right? So a sovereign fund, like the Singapore sovereign fund, the Norwegian sovereign, may buy X billion dollars worth of bonds. The problem is we're having trouble now selling some of them because if the credit rating goes bad, people don't trust us, they stop buying. One of the things that the Chinese can do in their trade war against us is they can decide to not buy as much bonds. They can do that. They can say, I'm not going to buy bonds this year. Well, you got to keep buying our bonds. We got to pay back to so-and-so, pay back this, or pay back these guys. Oh, we're not going to buy them. And you're seeing some of that happen now. This is one of the problems with the idea of de-dollarization. If you de-dollarize, there's no reason to keep buying bonds to get the dollars back in. You don't have to do it anymore. Well, why not? Because I'm now selling in rubles or I'm selling in renminbi. And a lot relative to the past. How about that? Still, the vast majority of transactions across the world done in dollars. Still to this day, the vast majority are. But relative to the past, more and more of them are now done in renminbi, which is the Chinese. Hold on, that's the Chinese cryptocurrency. Then that's right. The Chinese digital dollar, digital currency. I forgot which one. The yuan and the renminbi. I think the yuan is the physical, if I'm not mistaken, and the renminbi I think is the digital currency. I think that's right. So a larger chunk is now being done in that. As more done in that, there's no need to get dollars. That's the worry. So yes, Roz, you look fabulous in anything you wear. Please run for governor and president. We love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, that would be awesome. Maybe I'll do both. But do I keep wearing the black shirt when I run? No, I can't. I could wear the black shirt with the jacket. Maybe I could do that thing. Maybe when I run for office, though, I always wear the I wear the collared shirt and jacket. So I haven't worn a tie since 2013. I know, kind of crazy. So straight in, thank you for the $2, my friend. The older I get, the better I was. This thought is how Biden thinks he beats Trump. Yes. That's what he thinks. I think you're right. He does believe it. Biden does believe. He said it. Biden believes he's going to win this. He's like, this, you guys messed up. Yep. That's the problem. So, all righty. IC says, we are children's children own the debt, Matt. Yes, kind of. But yeah. P says debt problem solved. Yeah, that's the problem, right? The problem is we just have to keep doing it. We have to just keep going. That's the problem. And we have to stop at one point. At one point, we have to stop. Right? We've got to stop. We got to start having enough of a. Here's the problem. If we didn't have a deficit, so for those who don't know, a deficit and debt. A deficit is the amount of money that we owe at the end of a year that is more than we actually bring in. So if we bring in $5 trillion, but we have to spend $6 trillion, we have a $1 trillion deficit. Well, how do you pay that off? Yeah, you sell more bonds. You sell $1 trillion worth of bonds. So now you sell those bonds. Great, you get the cash. You're good. You pay whatever you're going to pay. Well, now whatever, 2 years later comes, and now I got to pay that back. I don't have money. That becomes part of our budget. If I remember the last data I saw, our budget now is what, 12% is the debt? Our debt is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, so that it's a bigger chunk, a bigger and bigger chunk of our budget. At one point, it becomes so big it's unserviceable, right? It's unserviceable. So you have two choices: lower your debt or raise your income so much that you no longer have a deficit. When you stop having a deficit, now you can just pay off the bond debt without having to take on the bond debt. So now the Chinese say, okay, we took $10 billion worth of bonds. You know, it's $12 billion. We go, okay, $12 billion. Done. We pay them. No more debt. No more debt. We're still the same amount, right? But no more debt. We just paid it off. Oh, okay, great. No more. And then we keep paying off. And keep paying off. And before you know it, it comes down and we have no more debt. That's how that works. So we have to be able to keep paying off our bonds. That's the issue. You have to not have a deficit before that happens. So yes. All righty. Let's see here. Phil says Larry's the man in black. He's been everywhere. He's been everywhere, man. Breathe the mountain air, man. He's been in Utica, Montezuma, Plattsburgh, Catskill, Syracuse, and Buffalo. Look at that. I like that. Very nice. I do appreciate that. So does RFK approve of popcorn? I would assume, this is my assumption, that he would be okay if it was at least natural popcorn. Like organically just pop. I would assume he'd be okay with it. That's my assumption. But he doesn't eat many carbs. Some, but not that many. So me, I don't eat popcorn. Too many carbs in it. But yes, absolutely. Ron for the $5 says, duopoly is the reason why we can't have nice things. It's completely depressing and avoidable. Both of those things are true. It is depressing and avoidable. Now, here's the problem. As I keep bringing this up, we have a situation right now in America to where too many Americans depend upon the government. Now, I know the easy libertarian answer is cut it out, cut it out. I understand that logic and I hear you. The problem is you do that, you will have afraid, scared, broken Americans, and things will get terrible. We have to wean Americans off. How do we do that? By having the local community step up. If local communities can step up and we teach them how, over time, we can cut government. When we start cutting government, we start paying off our debt. That's how that works. On top of that, we've got to focus on building new things, doing new things. Like, people get mad at me, I don't care, nuclear energy and things just like that. Those types to make energy cheaper and freer. Free as possible. I mean, it's going to be free, but as cheap as possible. Well, it's almost free. Now we start rocking and rolling. Now we get more productivity. Now we get more things being made. Now we get more stuff getting done. Now we stop having a deficit. Now we can stop paying off our debt. Takes time. Can be done. This is repairable. It absolutely is repairable. So yes. Kim says, Vance RFK ticket. I like that. That's good. Yes. Andrea says, Vance and Ramaswamy. I can see them together. I don't think it's a crazy thing. Right? I don't think it's a crazy thing. Yes. William says, you don't think J.D. Vance will be the automatic frontrunner? No, I don't. No. And I said because there are a lot of big personalities out there, right? Was Pence the automatic frontrunner? Right? Was Dick Cheney the automatic frontrunner? Right? And the more the Republican Party breaks away from being an establishment party, and right now it is in the process of doing that. Now, will it continue? The less your turn matters. The sad part with Democrats is they're very much about your turn, right? Obama was an anomaly, right? He was an anomaly. That's usually how Democrats don't usually do that, right? They usually want to follow your turn. Seniority. There was a recent interview. I forgot who it was. It was someone who was leaving. Was it Cori Bush? Maybe Cori Bush. She was saying how she didn't realize how much seniority mattered in the Democratic Party. She didn't realize how much it mattered. Like everybody was just waiting for their turn. Waiting for their turn. And that's still true. Democratic Party is very much the way. Republican has been that way forever. Trump changed that. Not completely. Seniority is still critical and important, just not to the same level as Democratic Party is right now. And that's the change we're trying to talk to. So, no, he's not the automatic front runner. Not automatically. No, I don't think so at all. So, yes. All righty. If I can keep going down this road here. Andrea goes on to say, Vance and Ramaswamy went to college together. I think they're on the same side. Yeah, I think they are. The AC says, Laura might bend more than one. Laura does love Trump. She does. It's true. You're not wrong. John says, Larry, I would still love to see Trump give Bernie a position somewhere just to keep the pot stirring going. I've been very forward with this. If Trump wants to really move things, he should do something just like that. Something just like that. I agree with you. I think it'll be the exactly right move. It's the old only Nixon can go to China. And to be forward, Trump has a mandate still. I know some people don't believe that. I think he does. Trump still has a lot of people very loyal to him. AC and I were just discussing one of them just now. So yes, very loyal to him, absolutely loyal to him. And with that in mind, spend some money on this. There are enough people who are mad at Democrats who would consider going Republican if Bernie got some damn respect from somebody. And if the Republicans gave him any respect, there's enough people going, oh, I might. And the example I'll give you 2 examples. One is RFK Jr. Millions of Democrats voted for Trump because of RFK Jr. Millions did. You see it all the time, and even in this chat, all the time. The second piece, look right now at Cenk Uygur, who is going over to a bunch of Republican places. A lot of Democrats are mad at him. Tons are mad at him. People mad at him. He's having trouble. But a chunk are staying. The Young Turks, while it's been hurting recently, still has millions of subscribers. They're still supporting the studio and many workers. So they're still making enough money to survive and pay many workers and keep the lights on. So and those people who, if you watch the Young Turks, you are probably a left-leaning person. Or at least you were. I don't know if you still are, but you at least were. And somehow they're surviving. So I'm with you. If you want to grow, bring Bernie in. Love the idea. Bring Bernie in, 100%. Yes. Phil says, Nick, I don't know, do I get canceled if I say his name? That guy who is known to not like people of color. How about that? Voted for Harris, supposedly because they think Trump stabbed the groypers in the back. That's my point. When people feel like it's they're attacked or trashed, they'll virtue signal vote. And he did that. Of course. Yes. Emancipation ain't freedom, says they're already blowing the midterms before even swearing in. I'm not sure that's true either. I think look, as I said, there had to be the battle. The earlier the battle, the better, emancipation. The earlier, the better. The sooner there's a battle, the sooner it's fixed. The sooner it's done, good or bad, the sooner it's over. You get some stability. So I do like this. So AC says speaker's huge. Yes, 100%. Yes. The AC says your predictions are right because you're sufficiently cynical. Kind of yes. Kind of yes. AC goes on to say, if I was Democrat, I'd be upset, but I'm undecided. My homies in the GOP might need more if they're going to go truly working class populist. We'll see. Agreed. I don't think that this is at all done deal. A lot of people who are Republicans who are working class that I know, they think it's a done deal. Like Trump's going to win. He's going to make the Republican Party a working class party. They're all in. I'm not prepared to make that call. I'm not ready to make that call yet. I don't think that they're there yet. It could happen. It's hard. The establishment is strong. It's people don't get how strong their establishment is until they all of a sudden have to hit it. I've hit the establishment more than once, and I broke my hand. It is not good. They are very powerful. Yes. And he goes on to say, no, I'm saying they will come together and implement their bad policy prescriptions. Maybe. But the problem with this, AC, is the policies for side A aren't the same for side B and then the side C in the middle, right? The things that RFK Jr. wants to deal with is not going to make corporate, heads happy at all, particularly pharma. Now, in those cases, some of those cases, the MAGA side is going to be like, yay, do it. In some of those cases, they're like, no, don't do it. And then the tech bro side, part of them like, we don't care about pharma, but part of them like, wait a minute, but we're big business. So my point is they have to figure out what those policies are. And then I'm sure some of them, depending upon which ones they are, if they're actually working class, you might be happy with them. Or some of them. And so you might hate. I don't know. Nice to ask, what was the Republican Party Civil War about? I think that's the point. There's basically two different sides plus a third. It's the MAGA side versus the tech bro side. That's it. Gene goes, transparency and accountability. Yes. But transparency first. That's all I'm saying. Yes. Roy says, used to be thought the world sending students here for education would either lead them to stay, increasing our intellectual capital, or bring some Western ideas back to their nation of origin. But now it seems many take our intellectual capital to help further rather than change their ideology. I think I could. Yeah, that's true. I like that. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yes. Kim says Trump voters still have hope he will drain the swamp. This is the problem. Is it possible that Trump will begin to drain the swamp a little? Yes, that is possible, but he cannot drain the swamp. It's just too swampy. Is it and he may not be able to drain much at all. I mean, I'm not even saying he can. Sorry, that I'm not saying he will. There's no doubt, again, I'll say it again. Trump's the right man of everyone out here who could do it. So if it can be done, he's the guy. The force is strong. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it's strong. So, yes. So, William says, in a week, this will disappear. Huh. You think a week? No, William. It's longer. Now, this specific thing might disappear, meaning the H1B visa may disappear. But this battle is going to go for a while. There has to be some form of victory. There has to be a battle where somebody wins, right? Otherwise, it just keeps going. Now, I don't know what that battle is going to be. Is it going to be a debate? Is it going to be a bill? Is it going to be somebody who they're going to nominate who will not get confirmed, but get confirmed? But there will be a battle. This is a war. This is a civil war. There will be a battle, William. I can imagine something like, I don't know, Bannon wants some kind of border czar that the other guys don't want or whatever. I'm making that up, right? Something like that. And then who actually gets confirmed? And then who gets confirmed wins that battle. So something like that. There has to, or there'll be a bill they'll put up, or a bill they won't want to put up, or something. There'll be a battle. And, maybe you'll see it'll be a Mike Johnson will put up a bill or won't put up a bill. There will be a battle, and there must be a victory in some way, shape, or form, and a defeat. Or this is not going to go away. The Civil War doesn't end unless there's a battle. At least one. There's got to be a Gettysburg. Or more, but there's at least one. So I think you're going to find out it's not going to stop until there's a battle. Yes. All right. Let's see here. Roy says former never Trumpers now swearing fealty to him in absence of, not because of, policy debates. So you're saying former never Trumpers now swearing fealty to him is in absence of, not because of, policy debates. Well, are you saying it's because of power? Or because they can't be accepted in the Democratic side? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying it's, in other words, if I'm a never Trumper, why do I swear loyalty to him? I could just be a Democrat. And you've seen people do it, right? Liz Cheney became Democrat, right? What's the other guy? I keep forgetting his name. Kinginger, whatever that guy is. That guy, he became Democrat. So I just become Democrat then, right? I just do that. Why do I have to swear loyalty to him? I just become Democrat and then I'm good. They make me some guy who runs a PAC, or they make me I get a job on like CNN. Well, CNN's dying. Whatever. I get a job on, I become a pundit on someplace, right? Or whatever. Don't I just do that instead? I feel like they're doing it. They must be doing it for power, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure where you're going with this one. Let me see if I can scroll and find. Okay. Oh, he goes, okay. Yes, pure power. Not because anyone's changing minds to debate. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay. Okay. Jordan says, it reminds me of the left progressive libertarians versus the Mises caucus. Libertarians are used to in the infighting. Yeah, that's my whole point. I was like, they're like us now. Worried more about virtue signaling than anything else. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Pigbo says he'll sideline Loomer and Bannon if they become too much of a problem. They don't have anywhere near the institutional power that the guys on the other side of the battle have. This is what I was saying. I agree with you. I think he will play what Clinton did in the 90s. That's what Clinton did. For those of you who were around in the 90s, remember that time. Clinton basically said, Democrats going to go nowhere. They're not going to go vote for Bush. I'm going to ignore them. I'm going to take the Democratic Party to the right. Right, when he was doing deregulation of banking, all that kind of stuff. He said, I'm going to take the Democratic Party to the right. He brought in that guy, Rick Morris. Is that right? Dick Morris? The guy's name. Morris was his last name. I forgot. Rich, whatever. That guy, he brought him in. He was a Republican strategist. Brought him in, literally just said, I'm bringing a Republican strategist in. That is how blatant it was. He brought a Republican strategist in. Roy, thank you, Roy. Dick Morris, thank you. Yes. Roy remembers. He was old enough. He's old enough. He remembers. Yes. Brought him right in and said, I'm doing it. And said, I'm going to ignore you guys because where are you going to go? I think you're right, Picabelle. I think Trump does a similar thing. I think he says, I don't care. You MAGA people are gonna stay with me. It doesn't matter. And I'm gonna jump on the tech train. I think that's true. Yes, that is what I think is gonna happen. John says, until Republican parties purge from all of the rhinos, it's going to be harder in a swamp. Agreed. And there's a lot of them. That's my point, right? That is my point. The Democratic Party has a similar problem. A similar problem. Think about this. Again, I'll say it again. The Democratic Party got its butt kicked this year. By any way you look at it, its butt kicked this year. Where was the leadership changes? Where were the policy changes? Nowhere. None. All leaders kept the same. All policies kept the same. Nothing changed. They learned nothing. They learned nothing. 100%. So, yes. The AC says, I'm just excited to see how populist and working class his cabinet is. Now you've hit the part that this is the battle that I was talking about, AC. This is the battle that I'm talking about. There must be a fight here because right now, as you can see, it is not a very populist cabinet, right? I mean, it's not a very working class cabinet right now. Clearly, it's not. Now, at one point, they're going to fight. It's going to be a battle at one point. Where's my working class guy that I'm going to put in here? Where's that guy or gal? Where's that person? Where's that person? So, yes, I do think that's we will know, AC, we will know if the Republican Party is becoming a working class party by seeing some more working class people pop up in the right spots, right? If that begins to happen, I'm not saying it will, but if it does, then we know, wow, okay, it's happening. It's working. It's happening. I don't think so. John says, Larry, Joe Rogan will be the one person that would love to see Bernie do something for Trump. If that happened, you're right. Rogan would jump out of his skin. He would jump out of his skin. He would be so happy. He would be insanely happy. 100%. Yes. Craig says, there are culture wars everywhere. Beyonce at the halftime show trying to be country just caused division. NFL is government funded. It's a civil war stoked on purpose. I do think that some people like this. They like the civil war side. I'm not mad at it. As I said, I think it had to happen, Greg. And I'm glad. I wish the Democrats would do it. I wish Democrats would do it. Make some changes. The Democrats are supposed to be a working class party. They're not. The Republicans have never been, but now they've got a massive working class base. What are you going to do? I wish Libertarians had this problem. I do. I wish the Libertarian Party had a massive influx of working class voters. I wish we had this problem. I'd be so happy if all of a sudden a million, for us to be a million, like tens of millions, a million, if a million working class voters jumped on our party. I would love to have that fight. I'd love to have that. Please, we have a civil war over garbage that no one cares about. I wish we had a civil war over a million working class voters coming to a party. That'd be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome. So yes. All righty. Let's see. Andrea says, maybe we could pay off China with government cheese. I like that idea. That's not a bad one. So P says, crypto, Larry coin, let's go. Already have a Sharpe coin. Already exists. Sharpe coin exists. I'm not going to tell you to buy it. I'm not the Hawk Tour girl. I'm not telling you to buy it. When I run again, if I run again, then it might have some value. Then go ahead. Please, if I have a chance of winning. But a Sharpe coin does exist already. Yes, already there. You can check Sharpe coin. It does exist. Off my, you can pick it up off my, I did give some out in 2018. So it does exist. So yes, there we go. It does exist. Just so we know. Absolutely. All right. Hallcraft says H1Bs take middle class jobs. Is that Tennessee? Work visa takes jobs nobody wants. Oh, TN. Okay, but there are less TN visas than H1Bs. Just 30,000 TN visas in issuances to Mexicans in 2020. Study by the Baker Institute. Yes, but do they take the job? And I think in the past, the answer was no. I think now it might be. And the reason why I say it is, in the past, we didn't have enough people who were in the STEM fields to do the jobs. It didn't exist. We didn't have enough. Now, We have more than enough and AI. And now you're seeing that we are literally laying people off and then asking for H1B visas. So I think if you go back 20 years, what you just said was not true. I think if you look now, I think it may be true. And again, most of our laws are from decades ago where it didn't matter anymore. So yes. Jordan says, run for president, Larry, Sharpe, Cohen, 2028. No. Sharpe, Spike, 2028. Not Sharpe, Cohen. Sharpe, Spike. I'm going to put a sharp spike in the eye. Sharpe, Spike is the answer. Yes. There we go. All righty. I just think it's a cuter one. That's all. I just think that's a cuter one, Jordan, the Sharpe Spike piece. So yes. All righty. Let me grab a couple more of these. AC says personnel is policy. Agreed. That is my point. Yes. Agreed. Dave says, Larry, the problem is terms like rhino and dino are almost meaningless. Look at the Democrats that won elections. Most of them are moderates. It's a valid point. It's a valid point, but I do think that people kind of understand what we're talking about, right? I think from our context here, look at the Republicans. Aside from Trump, most Republicans were fairly moderate. The extremes didn't do well in most areas of the country. There's the second piece that people don't realize. You bring up a very important point, Dave. Trump does not do very well in transferring his power. What I mean by that is just because Trump backs somebody doesn't mean that person wins. Trump is his own force of nature. So he has that powerful personality that people just keep following no matter what. They love him. They follow him. It's just true. Whether you like him or not, it's still a fact. It's true. The reality of it is, though, you see that a lot of it doesn't transfer very well. So I think your point's valid. It doesn't do that. Yes. John says Sharpe, not shape spike, Sharpe Spike. Yes. That's the piece. Absolutely. Ryan says Larry Hawk to a Sharpe. I don't mind. Got to do it, man. Whatever you think. There we go. So Shelly says, anyone think that Vivek and Elon will fire people live on Zoom? That would be amazing. I would so watch that. Yes. Pickleball says, Dems gave the finger to their base at every turn and lost abysmally. Correct. If Republicans follow the same playbook, they can expect the same results over time. Yes, but there's the point, Pickleball. The point is over time. Democrats have been ignoring their base since Clinton. I mean, I don't even mean, but since Clinton. They've been talking like they're working class. They're going to help. Meanwhile, they're deregulating the banks. They're not doing what they've been talking to them doing anything. They've been virtually doing for at least 30 years, maybe longer, but I can remember 20 or 30 years. They've been doing that. So it's 30 years. If Republicans get 20 years out of this, they're good. 20 years of grifting? That's a lot of money, Pickbread. That's literally tens of millions of dollars. They're okay. You're assuming they actually want to like fix things and make things better. The vast majority of people in power just want to grift. I've learned that, sadly, the hard way. The vast majority of them just want to grift. You give me 20 years of grifting, if I'm the average institutional Democrat, institutional Republican, I'm like, good. That's amazing. And then I'll kind of, limp along for the next 10 before I get my butt kicked again. And then I keep moving on. So all good. So I'm with you. I'm just saying you're correct and they're okay with it. I guess is where I'm going with it. You're correct and they're okay with it. Guys, I do want to keep going for a second. I want to make sure you're clicking the button known as like. You do that and then people see it and they keep going. Not just that. Please share, repost this if you can. If you've not subscribed to me on YouTube, please do so. Please follow me on Facebook and X and Rumble. You can always super chat me. I appreciate all the super chats. You can also rant me if you want to also on Rumble. Become a member. I ask you to become a member because membership lets me know, gives me a better chance of budgeting for the show. I lose money every month on the show. It's fine. I know that. I've been losing money for 6 years in a show. Hold on, 8 years, 6 years. I've been losing money for 5 years in a show. 5. I've been losing money for 5 years in a show. And I get that. The world's not going to end. But the more time I have to work to make money to pay my bills and then figure out how to budget, so that's why I keep bugging you for membership. It just becomes an easier way of understanding, an easier way of making things going. That's why I like it so much. It's easier. And the team likes it too. So if you can do it, it is a good idea if you can. It's $5 a month, either on Rumble or on YouTube, either one. That's why I bug you for it, to make that happen. And the other issue is if I don't do that, I'm going to have to get sponsors. And then once I get corporate sponsors, then all you hardcore leftists will be mad at me because I will have officially sold out. So, but there's the other answer. I could just sell out. If I sell out, it'll be hopefully something good. It won't be a coin. I will not do that. I won't, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. What's the cool thing I'm going to sell today? Maybe I'll sell gold or something. People do that, right? I'll be a gold guy. I'll sell like gold and stuff. I'll do that. I'll just sell like, buy my gold, and then I'll make tons of money that way. And you guys don't care about membership then. That's good. I'll just sell some gold. So Liberty Lady asked, Larry, are you doing a New Year's Eve and New Year's Day show? Yes and yes. Tomorrow I'm on at 1 p.m. my radio show, of course, talking about the horrible prison and jail systems in New York State. It's my New York-based show, radio show out of Rochester, New York at 1 p.m. tomorrow Eastern. You can call in if you want to. And I'll also be doing a New Year's Eve show tomorrow at 7 also. And I will be doing a New Year's Day show also, probably talking about things like thinking big, that kind of thing, how to put your goals together, how to set yourself up for the new year. As you guys know, my day job that I do is I'm a trainer, a coach, and a teacher. So I may walk through some of that stuff on New Year's Day to get people moving. That's what I think. So P says, I can legally change my name to Spike. Yes. I love that. John says, Patreon. Yes, you can go to Patreon, guys. You can go to Patreon. I don't bug you much on Patreon because Patreon is $10. $10 a month on Patreon. If you really love me and you love me that much, please go to Patreon. $10 a month on Patreon if you want to go there. You can also do it on Facebook. On Facebook, by the way, you can. If not many of you actually watch on Facebook. If you watch on Facebook, you can do Facebook too. Facebook is only $2. So there are many ways you can support me if you want to. Facebook is $1.99. Rumble and YouTube are $4.99, and Patreon's $10. So pick the level that you want. All good. That's why I do that. Phil says you should sell keto products. That is brilliant. Maybe I should. It's not a bad idea. I might do that. Yeah. Maybe I should do that instead. So yes. Ryan says Larry is everywhere. I'm on 18 different platforms. That's actually true. That's how I get so many views. Any individual spot doesn't get many views because I'm shadow banned. So I have to be on so many different spaces so I can get the show to grow. So I'm literally on 18 different platforms. Each one gives me a little bit of views. All combined, they get thousands. That's how that works. So yes, that's true. Lunatic says $13 trillion debt. There shouldn't be rich people. You're not wrong. Dude, you're not wrong. If we owe that much, we should all be broke. That's true. You're not wrong. Yes. 100% accurate. Peace says sponsored by Peace Logic. I love that. That's awesome. Pick a bell, become a member. Oh, thank you. All the cool kids are doing it. Yes, it's true. All the cool kids are doing it. It does matter. Yes, absolutely. That Liberty Lady says nothing wrong with getting sponsors. Yeah, but now I'm thinking maybe that keto thing's not a bad idea. It would fit with the brand at least. And I believe in it. I wouldn't have to lie and be like, buy something I would never buy. That'd be something. I like that one. That's not bad. Yes. Josh says, I have to work from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. tomorrow and New Year's Day. Man, wow, that's a lot. Kim says, get a keto cookbook to sell. My daughter actually does cook keto. I may ask her to do that. It's not a bad idea. And she's an artist, so she could actually draw. Ooh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I think I may do that. T-Bone says, sell out to raid Shadow Legends. That's not bad. I can do that too. These are all not bad. These are all good. But maybe I should do that. There we go. I like that. There we go. I got to consider that. So yeah, by the way, I want to say I do appreciate all the super chats. Ryan, $2. Sharpe spikes and like a t-shirt opportunity. I'd have to get Spike to agree first. So yeah, but I'm not even sure. Spike cares to do something like that. I don't even know if he does. I haven't spoken about that kind of stuff, but who knows? We'll see. Maybe he does care about this. I'm not sure he does, or if he doesn't. Guys, I am going to be on tomorrow at 1 p.m. If you can call in, please do so. I'll be on again tomorrow at 7, and then I'll be on at 7 again the rest of this week. I'm going to try to keep doing a show every day this week if I can, to the best of my ability. Guys, please, once this is over, please, again, put a comment. Here's what I want you to do if you don't mind. Please, if you don't mind, here's what I'm going to ask you. What is your number one, and I'm serious when I say this, what is your number one working class policy you'd like to see changed or implemented? And just one one working class policy you want to see changed or added. Doesn't matter. Anyone, if you don't like the working class, because I don't like working class people, they take away all the money. Whatever, don't matter. Yes. And by the way, yes, Spike's a real person. Yes, his name is Spike Cohen. Yes, it's a real person. Absolutely. So please, if you can do that, please put that down in the comments. I will see you all very soon.